Well, that I suppose is a little bit of a nightmare for most networkers when they think about that question. But look, I think what I would do, because I suppose I've never really had that myself. I came into this industry on a bit of a cushion, working with someone who was already successful. So I, never had to start from scratch right at the beginning. But obviously I've got to train many network marketers how to do that themselves. And the thing that I would do first is, I suppose, go back to that quote that my mum would use a lot, do everything in a way where the best possible result is always possible. I believe that about 90% plus of successful network marketers come out of 5 different categories. Now, we all know that we've got to start and put together a list. What I would do to get started, not knowing anyone, I would find people that would fit within these 5, different lists. The first group would be, people that have had direct selling, network marketing, or party plan experience. Group number 2 would be finding people that have had experience in entrepreneurship or small business. Group 3 would be people that are involved within the careers of health, beauty, and fitness. Group number 4 would be people that are involved in careers around sales, especially high-end sales like, housing, real estate agents, insurance brokers, machinery, etc. And lastly, people that have the ear of the community, people that have influence in the community. So it might be someone who has a respected occupation, an accountant, a physiotherapist. It might be a stay-at-home mum that manages the local baseball team, or maybe someone that, manages a church group. If you can kind of narrow down who you're trying to talk to, so that you've got a much higher likelihood that they already possess the skill set to be able to be a great, network marketer. And I would conservatively say that 90% of all network marketers that go on to be successful probably fall within one of those 5 groups. But at times too, you've got to be, step out of your comfort zone. I remember a network marketer from Australia who moved to Canada, and he was taking on a job over there, but was also network marketing. He knew no one, absolutely zero. And so he had to come up with ways to be able to create a list of people to talk to. And this is going back into the 80s, well before, the internet, was, being used. And he would he'd do 2 things. He'd go into libraries and would look at newspapers that were 6 months to a year old. So he'd grab microfiche in the library and he'd go back and have a look in the classified area in the newspapers, and he would ring each number. He'd say, hello, my name is Lyndon. I've seen your ad in the paper about 6 months ago. I'm just curious to see how you're going. And normally you find that most people that are advertising in newspapers, etc., are struggling a little bit, and they're trying to meet people and make friends. And so, he would have that opportunity to be able to talk to them about, his network that he was building. The other thing that he would do is which I thought was just as creative, was that he would ring real estate agents. Hello, my name is Lyndon. I've newly moved here to Toronto. I wonder if you can help me. I'm involved with launching, a new company here into the Canadian market. And I know you're involved in sales. I'm just new here to town. Is there anyone that you could recommend to me that fit into one of these categories? And, he kind of knew the dynamic of the relationship was that the real estate agent generally does know a lot of sales-orientated people, but in the back of his mind, he wants to establish a relationship with me in case I want to buy a house, or I can be added to his contact list. And so, and also you're kind of hoping too, as the networker, that in the end, the real estate agent, out of curiosity, says, oh, by the way, tell me a little bit about this company that you're launching. And so sometimes you've got to be really creative to be able to fast track building relationships or put yourself in the position where those conversations can arise.
you.